Wow, Nate. 3 easy steps? That is so cheesy. What is this? A BuzzFeed article? Do you have a fun shirt that you want to tie-dye, but you're just a little hesitant to start because you only have one of them and, one and done and that's it and there's no second chances? Yeah, we've all been there. I've been there. This video is for you. I'm going to walk you through how I tie-dyed my friend's Wu-Tang concert shirt he got at Madison Square Garden. And I've narrowed down the process into 3 easy steps to ensure that you're going to get a good result in the end. My name is Nathan. As always, I'm going to do my best to keep track of all of the details that I'm doing, write it down, record it, so I can share it with you. Let's get into this. Oh, hey, I know I said 3 steps. This is more of a step 0, kind of like what you should do before you do the 3 steps, and that is take the shirt and put it down, and instead pick up a blank. Think about it for a second. What is the emotional value of that shirt that my friend got at the concert? Priceless, right? This shirt, emotional value, $3 out of my pocket, which is almost nothing in today's dollars, which means I could experiment, test, try new things, go out on a limb on this, and if I make something that's really ugly, which can happen, it's no big deal. So what will happen is by testing on a blank multiple times, when you get to the shirt and you get to the moment where it matters, you're gonna have much more confidence that the outcome is gonna be something you love. All right, let's get into step 1, which is identifying the tie-dye pattern that's gonna work best with the existing shirt design. Now, that does not mean the color. We're not getting to colors yet. We're talking about just the structure of the pattern and how that is going to complement the existing shirt's design. Right? We don't want it to contrast. We don't want it to fight. We don't want it to be vying for attention. We want it to elevate and make the existing pattern stand out even more. And so when we think about tie-dye patterns, there's many of them out there. So look at the shirt. When I look at the Wu-Tang shirt, I look at the front, beautiful center design with that W. When I look at the back, same thing, a ninja, and it looks so amazing with some letters behind it. And so when I think of patterns for tie-dye, very first one is a spiral. And to me, a spiral demands attention to the center of the shirt. It's a diva. It will not work with this shirt. So I ruled it out immediately. I needed a pattern that was going to be like a diffused focal point. Right? There's no one center focus. And so I thought what would go well would be a glitch. So then we get into step 2, and that is picking the colors. Now, I'm not talking about where they're placed yet or amounts. I'm just, hey, let's look at the existing colors on the shirt and let's determine what colors will go well. So my friend and I talked about this, and we decided to go with the colors that are on the shirt already to start with, and that is black and yellow. And so what we did is a black and yellow glitch, which is this one here. This was one of the test shirts. I actually made a video of this, which there will be a link somewhere here on the screen. You can click on that, you can watch the video. The shirts are amazing. All right, let's get into step 3, which is the dye amount, as well as where are you placing it on the shirt when it's folded. These 2 things, any changes to them will have massive repercussions when the shirt's all said and done. And so what I did is we took this design here and we changed the dye from step 2 to blue-gray. But then the other thing is we changed where it was located as well as the amount, and we got this result right here, which I love it. It is so good. Just look at it on its own. There's nothing else on that shirt. It's amazing. And so I'm going to walk you through taking my friend's Wu-Tang shirt as well as my vacation Scargo Cafe shirt, and we're going to do it. Let's get into this. I use 2-inch, 2 metal wide rulers. That makes no sense. I use 2-inch metal wide rulers to do the glitch. I have wooden yardsticks as well that I tried, but they catch on the fabric when sliding, so I'm not a fan. You want ones that slide well. Plastic rulers I'm sure would work well here, but I haven't bought those because I didn't need them because I have these metal rulers. Now the way I start is with one ruler aligned
with the shirt at the bottom going across, and then I press down firmly on that first ruler to lock that shirt into place. I don't want the shirt to move. And then what I do is I take the second ruler and slide it underneath the shirt above the first ruler while I'm holding it down, align it, and then I lift it moving towards me, the shirt towards me, while keeping pressure on that first ruler. Once I do that, I then align both rulers evenly without moving the one underneath. I then press it down, smooth it out, and then I carefully take out that second ruler, press it down, smooth it out again, and there you go. I just made the first pleat. Now, carefully slide that first ruler out and then place it directly on top of the shirt above the pleat I just made, and repeat the process. Press it down, don't let the shirt move, put the second ruler above the first one, press it down, smooth it out, pull it towards me, and you just go forward and move your way up. So now, once you do that, it's gonna kind of look like a blind for a window, right? So now we need to do the exact same thing, but at a 90-degree angle. So we could move the shirt on the table, or if you're smart, you walk to the other side of the table, which, because this is my second take, that's why I'm telling you that. First one didn't work out that well. Now, once you're done with that side, you'll have a funky checkerboard. And now is the time to do a fan fold at a 45-degree angle. Don't you dare measure that. Just go from one corner to the opposite corner. You might get 2 folds here, right? Maybe 3. It's a tiny thing. And so you want to do your best here. It's going to be a little wonky, and that's okay. So now once you do that, now comes the hardest part, and that is tying up the glitch pattern while keeping what you just did as intact as possible. And as you can see here, I was using string and thread thinking that might help. It doesn't. It's more pain than anything. What I now use since I made this video is rubber bands. Just use 3 or 4 rubber bands that are just tight enough to hold what you just folded into place. And then as you tie the sinew and you go down, just, scoot the rubber bands down. Just don't overthink this. Now, when applying sinew, let's talk about this, because what we're going to do is we're going to go down the line and create these lines, and these lines are going to be very tight. And the whole point of this is creating a resist, and that is to stop the dye from penetrating certain areas. And your goal here is to do your best to break the sinew, and that is a 75-pound breaking strength. And if you do that, good job, because that means you got to that breaking point. So now, what is the best tip I can give you here? And that is to leverage a little bit of science. Yes, this is an easy one. It's Newton's third law of motion. For every force, there's an equal and opposite force. And what I mean by this is use the table as a brace. And so wrap the sinew away from you over the glitch pattern and then back towards you. And then what you do is you put your hand on top of the shirt. The sinew is now wrapping underneath, going back towards you. And then when you push down on that shirt, because of Newton's third law, the table is also pushing on the shirt with the exact same force. You are locking that shirt in a vise. And then when you pull back, you're going to get a much better, stronger line there than if you were to just put it in 2 hands. So use the table as a brace. So then go a couple times around, pull it super tight, and it'll lock into place. And then kind of go up an inch or 2. It's really up to you how far you want to go, how close do you want the lines to be. I've done both, and they're all really great. And then you repeat the process. Go around twice, tighten it, maybe a 3rd time if you really want to, and then pull it really tight using the table as a brace. And then once you get to the end, there's no need to cut sinew when you're doing something like this. Don't make any knots. I've done that. It is awful. It's going to take you like 10 minutes just to get the knot out, and without trying to cut the shirt. All you need to do is cut the tag end. Because you lock the sinew into place, it will not unravel. So now I like to dye my shirts like this, completely dry. I feel that it's better for wicking of the fabric of the dye water. So I like to let it sit on a box fan for a couple days. Or in this case, It was about 2 weeks as my wash machine decided to retire during this time, and I was out of tie-dyeing commission as I fixed up my basement while waiting for a new washer and dryer. So these were bone dry. Hey everyone, real quick, if you have found this video helpful, interesting, enjoyable, and you would like to see more, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It goes really a long way in helping me grow the channel. I also appreciate all your comments. I love reading through them. So please let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Let's get back to this. All right, friends, it's time to get a little nerdy here. I'm going to take you to some Excel spreadsheet. Just kidding. I took it and made a picture and I put it up here for you. And yeah, this is the fun part. Everyone loves math. I know not everyone does, but I'm going to do my best to keep it as easy as possible. And so when I think about this shirt, and how it's tied up, it looks like a baguette to me, with the center being the thickest part. And so I'm gonna split it into thirds to make my life a little bit easier. And when I do the measurement for the thirds, I'm going to guesstimate where a third by fabric is. And so for the middle third, I'm gonna apply a third of the dye by weight, and it's only going to be Dharma's blue gray. And I'm gonna do that dye over the ice because I want those color splits to be emphasized as much as possible here, and there's a lot of space to do that. Now for the outside thirds, they're going to be exactly the same but mirrored from the center, right? So we're going to start off with bright yellow with a 6 of the overall dye by weight, and then go to deep yellow, 1/12 overall dye by weight, and then blue gray, 1/12 overall dye by weight. And the reason why we're getting to 1/12 all the way at the end is because at the edge of the glitch tied up baguette, there's very little fabric there, so you don't need as much dye. Now for the outer edges, for these last thirds, we're gonna do dye under the ice because I'm being very particular about where I want the dye to be, and I don't want it to move too much. It's still gonna move, and that's a-okay. So now the other thing that really made this pattern work is I drastically reduced the amount of dye by weight. When I did my first test for this, I did a 5% dye by weight, which is fantastic for a shirt on its own. Even this shirt going down to 1.25% is fantastic on its own, but it works even better with the existing Wu-Tang shirt because it acts more as a frame. It's not the focal point. It's there to elevate what's existing and what's there already. So I'm really happy about that. So that's, again, change the amount of dye by weight can have huge implications in the end result. Now, I'm gonna add ice here. I'm gonna sprinkle soda ash, the blue-gray dye over the ice, and then I'm gonna do this over the rack. It's gonna just drain. I have to add more ice later on because there's undissolved dye, and that kind of happens with glitches because there's only so much kind of vertical space you have there. Now, once it's done with the dye and the ice, I then like to wrap my glitches in plastic wrap and just let it sit. The key with batching is that the fabric needs to stay wet because if it dries out, the chemical reaction is going to stop and the dye will no longer bond. Let's take a look at this Wu-Tang shirt, and wow, this is truly one of my best shirts I have made. When I look at the Wu-Tang, that design at the front of the shirt does not disappear. If anything, it stands out even more. And this is because we're using the white space and less dye, and it stands out so much better. And my first thought is, one, changing the black to blue-gray was a great decision, and the reduction was fantastic as well. And the yellow goes so well with the shirt. And when we look at the back, I see the same thing. The shoulders look really good. The bottom edges look good. That brown to the yellow with the blue from the blue-gray, it just works so well together. I am so happy with the shirt. And my friend, when I gave it to him and he saw it, I obviously sent him pictures, but when he saw it, you can't get a better kind of thank you than someone saying that they're gonna wear a shirt till it's threadbare, and even then they're gonna wear it until he can't wear it anymore. He loved it so much. And when I look at my Scargo Cafe shirt, I feel the same way. Obviously, it's not as cool as a Wu-Tang shirt, but hey, when I go on vacation again, back to Cape Cod, I'm gonna rock this shirt and everyone's gonna be like, oh my gosh, where'd you get that? It's like, I made it. Anywho, I hope you liked this and I hope you found it helpful. I'll see you next time.